latest hits, inside scoop, and unforgettable moments from the diamond. So grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks, settle into your favorite spot, and join us as we explore the highs, the lows, and all the excitement of baseball. This is the seventh inning stretch, where the game's always in play.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dugout Mug Studios. This is the seventh inning stretch.
All right, we're here with you the first day of August, 2 months to go. The dog days here. We got Logan Stone again with us, who joined me Tuesday for the deadline show, which was great to do as trades were coming in. Josh Edwards, as always, with us. How we doing out there, Edwards?
Another day, another dollar, and it's a new month. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Hey, we got a lot to
dying.
get into. Logan is done dying. We'll mute you until you got it figured out. Hey, let's get into the deadline here. The trade deadline. There was a lot going on. We'll see if Logan gets his thing figured out. Be sure to like and subscribe here to Variety Sports Network along the way. Josh, seventh inning stretch here. What was the trade for you that was the most impactful? Like when the trade was made, you saw him out there. What was the trade that stuck out to you? What was the most impactful trade?
The most impactful trade. That's I was not prepared for that question. I don't know. I guess right now, looking at hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Jazz Chisholm to the New York Yankees.
I think that's the.
I didn't think he was gonna fit. You made this suggestion last week, and I was like, no way, they're not gonna trade for him. His attitude's not gonna play there. And I made that statement, and after the show, I was like, well, Soto's there, Judge is there. That might work, but I didn't expect it would work the way it has. Dude's been absolutely on fire. Like 4 home runs in his first 4 games, or 3 home runs in his first 4 games, something like that. He's been lighting it up. So that's, as of right now, that's the most impactful trade, in my opinion, from the deadline. Not the most valuable trade, I'll say, but the most impactful.
Well, which one do you think will be the most impactful? The same thing. You think there's the valuable. Which one do you think will be there?
So I think the Cardinals, and this is not me being a homer, this was John Mozeliak actually doing his job and trading out a player named Tommy Edman, who hasn't played at all for the Cardinals, coming off wrist surgery. What's up, Ohio?
We'll get into your team here in just a second.
Cincinnati still sucks. The deadline didn't help him. Sorry. But I think that trade where he unloaded Edman to get Fetty and then pick up Tommy Pham, who's had 6 RBIs at least already. I haven't caught the whole game tonight. He might have a 7th. I know he's been on base. He scored tonight. So that trade alone was super impactful for the Cardinals because he filled the starting role, getting Eric Fetty, who was highly desired across the entire league. And then Tommy Pham is a role player who is a spark plug. So, and it seems to be working because they're shutting down Shota Imanaga tonight. Ran him out in the 7th inning with a couple home runs against him. So that's kind of where I'm at on my 2 biggest impact trades. So
Logan, we talked about a lot of these guys, as kind of Joshua touched on. Like, I feel like now we've had a couple days to reflect on it. We talked enough about what the players went to, who they went to. As we were discussing it live, it was, there's a lot coming at you like, oh, that's a winner, that's a loser. It's hard to make that decision right there on the moment. Now that you've had a couple days to think about it, do you have a winner of this deadline that stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the clear winner is the Cardinals.
All right.
Now that I think about it, but since Josh already touched on them, I think the second winner is the Mariners, going out and getting a lot of bullpen help, and then getting probably one of the best outfielders in the game right now, Randy Arozarena, definitely showed something that they haven't shown in a while, which is that they care this year. They care at the deadline. They care about, making the playoffs and going deep into the playoffs. And so that was something good to see. And I think that was they didn't just get some scrubs. They got some really good players. And all of them are blanking in my head right now. So,
well, I think one of the winners. I think the Cardinals. When you, Logan, we're gonna get you out here. Sorry, bud. You're having the internet issues. They're too much, Josh. I can't hear everybody there outside. I think some of the clear winners. Hopefully, Logan, we can get you back on here. But I think one of the clear winners, and this was also, you mentioned the Cardinals, but I want the Padres. I think getting Scott in that deal as well was somebody that was a big deal as well. out there. I think for them it gives them a little bit more bullpen depth as well. So I think those are some guys that also made a little bit of a difference too. So Logan, can we hear you again out there? Don't think it's gonna work, bud. Trying on you. All right. So, any other trades, Josh, that stuck out to you as a winner there?
I mean, I think all the Orioles moves. I think we're gonna have to see if that's a winner. They made 7 different trades at the deadline. They were really moving things around, so we'll see if that helps them out. They made a call up of Jackson Holiday in there, so I mean, you could call that a trade. It's not really a trade. I mean, they traded one guy off the roster for him to come up. So we'll see what happens there. This one you have on the board right now, I think
let's go through them a little bit here as I go through.
Yeah, I don't think this is a big move for Atlanta.
Going back to 2021 Magic there.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Tommy Edman for LA is going to end up being a killer when he finally gets on the field and if he finds his stroke. But his defense is what I'm sure LA wanted him for.
To me, that was the best. That was the most exciting trade in the deadline there, right? Like that was the one that was actually made a difference. It felt like the Dodgers GM just knows how to they end up with Kepka and they end up with Edman that kind of fit their role. You guys get back what you want as well, with Pham also included in the deal. I don't know, Logan. You kind of shook your head there with that one.
I mean, I don't know about Edman killing it in LA, but Kopech, Kopech I think is okay. I actually wasn't excited about that one as much. So I don't know. I wasn't as wowed by everyone like everyone else with LA's trade deadline, aside from Jack Flaherty.
And what we got here, Doug, Logan, we got him sounding a little. He's sounded better there. Look at that. And we're gonna get him motivated here talking Cardinals. Cardinals baseball here. Come on, Edman there. I feel like Cupcake to the Dodgers is a little bit of underrated there with that trade there. We got Montas going from Doug's Reds to the Brewers there in the deal. To this point, I still have no idea what the Reds are doing overall long term. And on that note, let me get my guy Doug Stevens in here from Ohio Talk Sports. He wanted to give his thoughts Hey
everyone, it's Doug with Ohio Sports Talk. I am interrupting the 7th inning stretch to give you a little bit of insight on my feelings towards the Reds and the trade deadline. I think the Reds absolutely suck when it comes to this kind of thing. Nick Krall has absolutely no initiative. He does not want to go out and make the team better. He doesn't care to make the team better. And that's further proved by the fact that the front office yesterday, with this team battling for a playoff spot, 5 games out, they threw a party for themselves. They're, oh, how great are we? How great are we? How great are we? Everybody, we're going to move you up the ladder. How do you release that statement when this team is battling 5 games out and trying to make a wild card and you did nothing to help the team? It's insane. The Reds do not care as an organization. They'd rather pat themselves on the back than go out and get an outfielder and help this team make a run. I am so sick of this organization.
Oh, that's great. Doug Stevens.
Well said.
That. Well said there, Doug, as he gets his thoughts there on Ohio Sports Talk. Appreciate you kind of chiming in with your thoughts here at the deadline with the Reds and Brewers. Make a division-type trade there. The Brewers add an arm. They need to give it Jonas, who's had a decent season. But I think Doug made some good points there about the Reds in that division. Just they really are always that. You'll see in a little bit. Just kind of that medium team as I have them in the emoji thing here. But kind of well said there. Josh, you were shaking your head there in approving that message there.
So, no, yeah, I completely agree with Doug. I mean, being a Cardinals guy, I want to see everybody in the Central Division be somewhat good to make the games better. Granted, with the balanced schedule now, we don't see everybody as much as we did before. But what is with these in-division trades? What is it with helping out your opponent in your division? Like he just said, the Reds are still technically, mathematically, in contention for a playoff spot, and they're trading one of their most experienced pitchers to the team in first in the division. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I completely agree with Doug on this one. And he and I have butted heads all over the place. This one, we're in lockstep.
That was a good one, too, that trade there as well. We also had Doug, appreciate you, first of all, Ohio Sports Talk. Make sure you tune out. Doug always has helped out here on Variety Sports Network. We did the double together as well. He was on a couple weeks ago. Reds in a minute. Are they worth a minute every episode? That's a business decision we'll have to make there with it, Josh. So you had that one. We had this one took a lot of heat, Logan. The prospects. They giving out the big prospect word got thrown out the most with this one. Basically, it was kind of funny. I think they said no, like big prospects were given out this year in the trade at the trade deadline. But it's apparently for Kikuchi, the Blue Jays got too much back from the Astros. I actually kind of like this move for the Astros, giving them depth going into the postseason. I mean, the Blue Jays, whatever they get Boston, who's looked upon as a good asset there. But I like that move for him. We didn't really talk about this one that much on Tuesday, but I think I like it for Susie's Astros a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it helps.
I like it.
Go ahead, Logan.
I think it's good. They gave up way too much for him, and they needed to get another starting pitcher. And I mean, for the Blue Jays, I mean, I think I said this on Tuesday, if they didn't give up, if they didn't get what they did in return for Kikuchi, they would have been screwed the entire deadline because, I mean, they needed to get rid of everyone. They needed to get rid of Guerrero. They needed to get rid of Bichette. They needed to get rid of Gossman and Bassett and all these other guys. And instead, they only got rid of Kikuchi. And luckily, they got a load for him. So,
man, and then they DFA Montero, which was a little odd, as Aaron brings up here as well. We got our guy traveling board gamer as well tuning in there. I agree. I think there are some points there. The Astros are in a weird spot. We'll kind of get in them a little bit more as we kind of move them, but they're in a weird spot. Kikuchi, they end up getting that deal there. Turner to the Mariners. I put that on 7th inning on 7th inning Twitter, and I usually very rarely get comments on like these rare tweets when I put like somebody getting traded and like 2 people just responded he's washed. So I thought that was great. That said that.
I don't think he's washed.
I mean, he at least makes contact. The Mariners don't even have players that make contact. So I'm not saying that's an over the top move, but I like that one as well. And we talked about this one as well with your boy here on the move as well. I mean, do you guys think he just stole everything from the White Sox? Is that basically what it is?
Who?
Not everything.
The Cardinals. They only had to give up Edmund, and they basically got 2 players back, and then they get fee for 2 years basically.
They definitely fleeced him. I mean, 2 years of Fede and 2 months of Pham, who turns out to be like Barry Bonds in the freaking box now. I don't know what the heck happened to him, but I mean, good Lord, they definitely fleeced him.
That was the most.
Pham is happy to be back in St. Louis. That's the difference. He's been all over the league now. He knows what he had when he was in St. Louis. He's happy to be back because he's an emotional player. He feeds off of the environment he's around. He feeds off the team. Like, he needs that. He's the type of player he needs to feel the thunder underneath his feet to play well. And he got that in his return.
He's like a more toxic Michael Jordan who takes everything.
What did you think was the most confusing trade? Like, I kind of had that one as a White Sox. Like, the White Sox, like, that one was like, why didn't you give? It just seemed like they could have maybe got a little bit more for those 2 guys. But I guess Kupka wasn't asking for that much. I know he can be inconsistent, so I'm guessing he's. I know, Logan, you could say it for me. He has it there. I want you to. You got
say it. You know you want.
You want to say Winkler. You want to say with Jesse Winkler. You get that one. I think that was a confusing trade. And then the Rangers were confusing too with some of their trades as well.
What are they doing? I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you right here. What are they doing? What are the Rangers doing? I'm at a loss.
They get
what
Chafin,
is going on with this organization?
And then who did they trade? They traded they traded for Chafin, and then they trade away somebody as well. So they didn't make a lot of sense with it. They get Kelly as well and the deal. So the Rangers were kind of a confusing team for sure.
I didn't even know Carson Kelly was still playing.
It's very impactful deal. Very impactful.
Like, I mean, he was a Cardinal, got traded to Arizona, and I lost track of him. I didn't even know he was still in the league until he got traded.
I don't know. I didn't know he was still in there. Hey, 4-2 real quick. Your Cardinals are up here. entering the bottom of the ninth.
Smoked Showtime Managa tonight, and Ryan Helsley is coming on for the 9th inning to shut the game down. Hopefully back to that way he was throwing the ball at the beginning of the season.
Were you guys surprised any? I had it just here as notable players not traded, and none of the lefties went, right? Crochet didn't go in the deal. Logan, we kind of touched on that a little bit too. Like, I think that request was kind of weird. That kind of threw a lot of teams off there as well. Scooble, Tigers, that was to me an obvious decision.
That was an off. That was
the Blake Snell one, though, was interesting, though. It's interesting the Giants hung on to him.
Yeah.
They probably weren't going to get much for him because he's on a player opt-out. Right, Logan? Am I thinking about that correctly?
No, they would have gotten something for him. I think the Yankees were definitely in play for him. I think the Padres even said they were in on him. Dodgers would have been in on him. Astros would have been in on him. There was a market for him. And I mean, he was showing that he was having a turnaround. I think after, signing late and not having a spring training and then spending some time in the minors, he was really finding his groove. And so I think there was definitely a market for him. And I think the Giants kind of screwed the pooch on that. They kind of had the weirdest deadline, in my opinion, also. So,
yeah, and he had that 15K game that was giving him a little momentum right towards the deadline there. That gave him a little bit there. Traveling board gamer, good, not great move. Cubs get Paredes under team control till 2017. They had to give up Morel.
That was a weird one for me.
I kind of have the Cubs and the Giants in that same kind of thought process. That was not in kind of the weirdness. You said Logan not giving up Snell. That is kind of a weird trade there as well, don't you think?
Yeah. Like I said on Tuesday, I mean, they got rid of Morel and then they got Paredes, who, I mean, to me, that seemed like it was like taking one step forward and then one step back.
So you don't like Paredes?
I do like him. I just think that Morel is almost
more valuable.
Almost equal in a sense.
Fair enough.
I think if you had put Paredes on that team with Morel, I think that would have been an amazing get. But then you take Morel and his contact and his defense and everything, I think it's a little bit like a weird thing. It's weird. It's like subtraction and addition, and so it's like nothing happened. It's in a sense.
What did you think of the other trade I got up here? Is this 4-2 here? My boy, he goes to the Mets. They go there. That up or down. Mets made a good trade. Stanley, perfect timing. Stanley, how do you do it?
Winkler's son.
How do you get Winkler? Jesse Winker. Mets made some good trades. I want to dive a little bit more into the Mets here as part of a 4-team discussion here in a little bit. But Mets they make that trade there. Josh, are you okay with this trade? I mean, he's a professional hitter. He goes to New York. I mean, gets a lefty bat. I mean, to me, it's a good move. I wanted him on the Pirates, but I don't mind him on the Mets there.
I mean, I think the Mets still end up choking, so I don't think it really makes a difference.
Well, that's here or there. Do you like?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad trade though by any means. Like, I wouldn't say it's a bad trade at all. I don't know. Winkler is not impressive to me.
I gotcha.
This is the trade I didn't like.
Danley Jansen to the isn't this weird? Brandon brought it up when we were talking about Sunday. Like, or Logan too. There's some rule where he was like on the on deck circle, and there was some sort of like delay rain out game, and it was part
so
of
when they go to remake the game, when they go to finish the game,
that's right.
He'll be the only player in history to play for both teams in the same game.
What a performance!
Only player.
4-3 here, just real quick to let you guys know.
He just hit a homer.
Bellinger hits a home run here. What do we got? One out here in the ninth.
Yeah.
Helsley coming out of that's August, bad month for him. Don't blow it.
That ball was up and away too. I can't believe he crushed that.
Don't blow that. So you didn't like this one. To me, this seems like a minor move in some regards. This doesn't seem like a big one. Maybe it does if they get to the playoffs. I feel like this is a bigger one going forward.
Yep.
Now he actually he's going to play a huge role for the Phillies.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's going to he's going to deepen the bullpen and give them another lockdown player.
And that's why. And then we talked about Jazz as well there with it. So those are the big some of the big moves with it. What do you think, Logan, with the Phillies adding Estevez? They get him as well. The Phillies bullpen, they're on a little bit of slide, but do you like that move for him overall?
Oh yeah, I mean, Carlos Estevez was a very dominant pitcher at the beginning of the year, and they didn't just get him. Oh gosh, who did they get? They got a couple other bullpen pieces that would have helped them in the dog days of summer, or the long haul, or whatever you want to call it, the end of the road, whatever. My brain's not working today, so. But yeah, I think that was definitely working for them in their favor. I think that's something that they needed. I think they could have gotten a bigger bat, but I think they are good enough.
We got traveling board gamer here. I'll bet the Dodgers wish they had gotten in on the relief pool. They have a weakness. Yeah, there were some guys there were so many relief pitchers that win this deadline.
Oh, they were all over. They were moving like crazy,
and they were way overvalued.
Logan, I wanted to ask you about this because we didn't get a chance to talk about it after, because it kind of broke like 4 hours after it was about how the Yankees, they didn't feel comfortable necessarily giving up enough. Trusting Flaherty's like history of health, which to me is, I think, very questionable in any regard, just based on how he's done year to year. What did you make of that with the Dodgers willing to, I guess, forego that?
So this is kind of my issue with the whole thing. The Yankees have had this trend, and it's honestly, it kind of sounds repetitive coming from me, because it sounds exactly what the Cardinals do, which is they are always hyping up every year, and then they always kind of they don't go balls to the wall like they should. Like, when you think of the Yankees, you think balls to the wall, like they need to go in and out every year, like nothing left on the field. So they go out and get Jazz Chisholm, which is great. They go out and get Juan Soto in the offseason, which was awesome. They got Marcus Stroman. They got all these guys.
I hear what you're saying.
And so their starting pitch, they needed starting pitching so bad. They needed it really bad. And right now, they needed Jack Flaherty more than they needed anything. And to think that you only have Jack Flaherty for 2 months, and you're worried about, and any other year, I think it would have been okay to be like, okay, well, he's got back problems. We just need to pass on that. Any other year, I think that would have been fine. But in a year where you don't know where Soto's going next year, and you have Aaron Judge, who's about to win his second MVP, and Juan Soto, and you have Jazz Chisholm, and you have all these guys who are in their prime, and you don't go out and get Jack Flaherty because he might hurt his back once this year, is just ridiculous to me. And it just shows that it's almost like it was an excuse. It's like, oh, well, we didn't want to get rid of the prospects, and so we're just not going to do it. And it's like, you don't care. You don't actually care about this, because forget about Jack Flaherty. If you go out and get someone else, you could have gone out and get someone else, and they didn't. And they needed to go out. Jack Flaherty just needed to be a Yankee no matter what.
Yeah,
he needed to go home to LA is where he needed to go. And he finally got what he's wanted ever since he got into the MLB.
Oh, good.
His mother tweeted that. She did approve of that message. I agree. She did. She was a big fan of that, right? Josh Edwards. With that, all right. Hey, I want to get one last thought here before I get to my emoji part of the show here for the deadline.
Emojis.
Disappointing or most underrated move at the deadline. We might have already.
What's up, Tyler?
What's the most underrated move at the deadline here? And then I'll get to my emoji part here. Underrated move, like you think will be a huge move. Tyler, what's up? TMB Sports Up back later tonight. Check that out as well.
Zach Eflin, the Orioles.
You think he could pick it back up?
Yeah, I think Eflin is going to be a very impactful pitcher for the Orioles.
Logan, I like the one you said yesterday. You kind of convinced me of it. Actually, it's Tuesday, but is Lane Thomas from going to the Guardians. I was a little suspect to that move, but I kind of think that might be one that that kind of turns out to be a little bit different as well. So I like that one to be a possible move as well that they like. Hopefully Logan's back here. He looks a little frozen there. There with his shot. There he is. I can see you now. We see you. Kiermaier, defensive stud for late game, decent speed, no long-term commitment contract. He's gone. He makes that thing that he's retiring next week as well. 4-4 now. I have breaking news. The Cubs, Swanson doubles, Horner scores, runner on second base. We'll see if the Cubs can pull off the win here late in the game here. Josh Edwards, they blew it there for your Cardinals. 4-2 win.
Dude, both of their big hits though were balls that they shouldn't have hit. They hit bad pitches. Like and Dansby Swanson's still a dork. His little celebration when he got to second base. I'm like, dude, act like you've played ball before. You're supposed to be a great player. That's supposed to be routine for you. Don't act like you're a rookie who just made an impact play.
Cannon to the Giants. I know he's nobody thinks that's a good move there with it. Thanks, Traveler Show. Appreciate you, man.
See you, Jim.
Yeah, but cannon there. All right. So we had talked about disappointing teams there with it. I mean, I just wanted to. I just felt like the White Sox were a little disappointed with not unloading the guys they should have got. I want to get them more in a second, but I just thought they didn't do a very good job there.
I agree with you.
All right. Should we get to the emoji part of it? I got Josh. You'll keep me updated here. So the idea of this, Logan Stone, was I was like, all right, here's a team based on the second on the trade deadline that's passed, and based on the kind of what it feels like headed into the second half. I don't want to give a grade anymore. I'm going to give an emoji that how I feel about this team and how I might explain how we feel about them. So, so in doing so, I'll get them up on the screen. You guys can ask any questions about why I explained it the way I do. But so the first one is the AL East. All right. So I got. Of course, we got the Orioles. They got the sunglasses. They've been fine. There's nothing for them to worry. They don't need to panic. They added depth at the deadline. Maybe it wasn't the best depth. People were ripping on that, but at least they've added guys. They're feeling good where they're at. The Yankees, like Josh said, feeling confident. They got Jazz now, perfect fit for them on offense to fit that lineup. My question for them is, can the bullpen hang on? I got the Red Sox, the roller coaster there. I feel like there's going to be an up and down here. That the pitching they got at the start, where we talked about, is not going to be the case. And I got the Rays with the white flag. I got the Blue Jays. Time's up on this. The time is up on this team. Vladimir and Bichette, there's only so much time left. Those are my emojis for the East there. You're looking at the Central West. I can get the details on those. Any stick out to you, Edwards, there you want a question on?
Okay, why the chicken coming out of the egg for Kansas City? This is the one I'm not sure about. Are you calling it a chick?
No, because at the deadline, I feel
that's
like
the game. Cubs just won.
What happened?
Walk off. Dansby just got it. Ball pulled down in the corner. Helsley blew a save. And the Cubs are acting like they just won the World Series.
Well, they did for them. They're back in it. They're back in it now. They're back in the Central.
I mean, they just tore the jersey off of Talkman.
They're back in it.
I hate Chicago so much.
So Chicago wins that. The Cardinals, that would have been a nice win there on the road to keep that momentum.
He's acting
going.
like he's a king. Oh my God!
What is the
Chicago
chicken
have some
leg
class, for God's sakes.
So I had the chicken and the egg. The reason I had that was because I feel like they're like I said, they're bursted out of the egg a little bit, but I feel like the deadline moves for me were they could have got a little bit more. So I feel like they kind of said, okay, we're going to go half chicken. They kind of cut the bait both ways. They know that they have a good team coming, but they did not go full in a sense to make a big move. So that was my reason for them. They continue to play well right now, so that's my emoji for them, kind of for the way that you said it as well. And then can I explain I'll explain I don't think I need to explain the White Sox one, right? It's pretty obvious.
No, it's pretty obvious.
What about the Angels?
Shaquille O'Neal, right? When you have somebody in the post and you're backing them in, and you know they can't stop you because you weigh 50 pounds heavier than them or 100 pounds heavier than them. Barbecue chicken. That's what the Angels are every year. It out there is like, I mean, and then you look at the trade deadline. Logan, I'm glad you brought them up. I mean, we talked about it leading up to the show. We're like, well, they better trade Anderson. Well, they better trade Ray. They didn't trade anybody, and then they still have the third baseman stealing money from him over there. Like, let him go. Bring somebody else up. Help me with his name for some reason, please. It's escaping me.
Anthony Rendon.
Rendon, please.
Sorry.
So they are barbecue chicken. I'm sorry, Raw Washington. I love you as a coach, but your team and the Angels franchise, they are barbecue chicken. So that's
not to mention Mike Trout tore meniscus again. He's out for the rest of the season.
Oh my gosh! But did you hear the GM said he feels like he looked him in the face. He says he maybe could see 70 home runs next year.
Wow.
Yeah, never mind. I can say that.
He's motivated, Logan. He's working that rehab.
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy for a full season. He'll never hit 70 home runs in 1 year. Book it.
Right there. So I had that one with it. I also had for the Guardians. Got to salute them. Best record so far in the league. I mean, are we kidding me? Then they put on a show today against the Orioles as well. They're up 10-3. I mean, how do we do nothing but give them the soldier salute there? And then the Tigers, for me, the turtle. The reason I had them is like they must be the slowest team in trying to build of all time. And then it's like, nope, we're gonna go back. And then nope, we're back. It's like they had this era of great pitching, but man, they've been just. I feel like they're slow at everything they do. They're either too late on a trade, they're too early on something. They haven't been able to figure it out as well. And then the Astros, I think you guys can figure out the Halloween. We'll see you in October. I know they'll be there. So that's kind of that there with it.
You gave the A's a dynamite stick?
Yeah, because there's a lot of power there right now. They've led July in home runs, so they have a lot of dynamite in the bats. But the stadium, but the stadium will soon be blown up as well.
Do you think they should have gotten rid of Mason Miller?
Yes.
Really?
I'm
surprised.
I think depending on because the reason being is I think what is he going to I don't know where his arm is going to be. I do question like can he throw 103 that long and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there is that part of me like where if you get a good enough prospect I would have probably said okay like let's take a chance on somebody but I think the fan base would have I mean at this point it's already lost anyway so to me you can take a chance on that but you do lose an all-star player.
It's so weird because it's such a relievers market. It was such a relievers market more than any other year I can think of. And it would be so weird to think like you would have to trade a number one prospect to get Mason Miller.
I agree with you. And because he was not looked upon that the year before that, the year after. I mean,
yeah,
he's figured it out. I mean, that's the way you say it. Like, how can he sustain it? Can he have a Gagne type run where he go? Yeah, I don't know. Like, can he be like that good for that short period of time? Yeah. I question throwing that hard that long period, but we'll see. Maybe he figures it out and he can have a good run like that. Any other questions on this before I get to the NL?
Let's see.
Why did you give the Mariners a melting emoji?
Because I feel like everybody says they're gonna fade, right? And like, okay. I feel like they made these trades, and I kind of feel like there's a smile still there because we got a Rosarita, we got Turner, so we're happy about it. But as we sink the ship, we will miss the playoffs on that last day with a smile. So that's kind of my idea with the Mariners there. I think. Logan, you had another one?
No, I think the Angels not capitalizing on any of their guys. They should have gotten rid of Taylor Ward. I think Taylor Ward would have gotten them something. I think even Brandon Drury would have even gotten them some. Daren's the only believer. Yeah.
I do. I am the only one that believes in it.
I kept waiting for you to tell me to come back. I was trying to be the Mariners.
I was waiting for you. I was going to.
My joke did not land.
I did not land there. Sorry, I got distracted by the comment. The Rays, they get the white flag there as well. I throw that up, the white flag to them. All right, NL. Here's the NL emojis. I got quite an array of them there.
Just my first look, and I was like, oh, shoot. Here we go.
Is there one? Is there one that stands out to you? That
The Marlins cigarette they're smoking.
I just feel like I feel like there's a team where there's like an old lady in the 1930s there, just like rocking, like watching this team, like smoking. Like I mean, that's the only thing I can think about with like this team. Like, good lord, they make you want to smoke some cigarettes.
Right, fine. I got
Rude.
Who, Logan?
Sorry. I said right after they get screwed, like the cigarette after sex type thing, or what?
Not quite even that good. They don't even get that. It's more the one where you're just like, you
Affleck picture.
Yeah, it's more that one. More of that. This team causes you to hit the chain with smoking. So that's the reason I had to have.
Fair enough. That's funny.
So I thought you might like that one, Josh.
That was
You got the Padres. I had the pig there. I didn't have a picture of the farmhouse, so they trade the farm. They don't care about their farm system. They are getting players now. They will trade everybody for it. Does not matter. So they get the piglet. That's the best. Sorry, I didn't want to go chicken, so it didn't represent it well enough. So I was or goat. So they're not that good. So we went with the pig there with it. And then the Pirates, the ticket. I feel like they're must see after the trade deadline. The day the Cruz signed the trade. Kind of like how Logan mentioned about, I wish they would have gotten a little bit more in, but it's not a terrible trade. You know, De La Cruz has a proven bat against lefties. You know what I mean? Like, so there is that part that they could use him. Reynolds is a good player. I don't know. Those are my things with it. So those are the Reds. I don't know if you have a question about that one too, but I got a few there.
I think 3 was a little too high there, but I'm sure that's the only option.
Well, it just means they always get bronze. It doesn't matter. They get a lot of bronze along the way.
What's your Diamondbacks though? They're searching for something.
D-backs over here. Yeah, I feel like they're 4.5 out, right? They're getting guys back. They're kind of in the race. They didn't go like crazy, and they got Bell, Logan, which I liked. They got Bell there in that deal. Kind of the DFA'd them, so they got that. But that's kind of why I kind of keeping my eye on them a little bit. The D-backs, could they make another little run here? So that's where I'm at with the D-backs.
I mean, they're in it right now, so there's a chance.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Brewers, obviously, got to give them cheers. Leading the division, not expecting that to start the year.
You called it, actually.
Well, I did, but a lot of people did not. But we'll see if that sustains. They get Williams back, so cheers to them along the way. And the Cardinals get the puzzle piece. Is Pham missing piece? Is he the one that takes them over the top? Logan, getting rid of Edman, does it just clear out the rotation? It feels like the Cardinals have figured it out a little.
I got to figure out who my new least favorite player is. I don't know who my least favorite player is now.
You're going to say Brendan Donovan or something.
No, I like Donovan.
Ciani?
I don't.
Burleson?
Burleson. Ciani's not an everyday starter.
Hayes?
I don't know. Yeah. Definitely not. He's the best player on the team. And you know it.
I feel like you guys have figured. I mean, you guys are on fire. You lose tonight, though. We'll see what the momentum does to that loss. Like when you're up 4-2 and you lose it in the ninth, that is a big loss. So
came from behind though. Chicago had the early lead.
Yeah, but tomorrow's a big game then to me. When you lose a game like that, the next game becomes a big game.
Tomorrow's Fetty too.
All right, there's a little momentum there that way.
We'll see what
I think Giants and Mets would have gotten the same emoji from me, which is the head scratcher. But whatever.
The Mets get the light bulb. Seems like they figured it out the last 2 months. Well, they 17. They go 17-10 this month. They go 16-11 last month. I mean, they figured it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being a little harsh on those Mets there.
I mean, they have a winning record at home. They have a winning record on the road, but they have a losing record of teams over 500. So
I mean, they were bad. They were bad the first month and a half, 2 months. So they were pretty bad. So I don't know. They did play the Phillies probably a few times. They played them. So the Giants, they get the sad face, disappointment, complete disappointment this year. Always stuck in the middle as well. The Cubs. Maybe tonight, maybe they do get the life support. Maybe that's what they are on life support, but maybe the Cardinals threw them a little lifeline. So maybe that fits perfectly for tonight as well.
So let's say that don't talk about Burley. Burl? Oh,
Burley. She's saying Burleson.
yeah. I was like, who's Burl? But anyways, hi Mama Edwards. Missed you and everything. So tomorrow, or let's say that tomorrow the Mets they start a streak of 0-17 or something ridiculous where they win or they lose 17 of their next 25 or something. What if, and they just fall apart? What are we going to start saying, man, they really should have traded Alonso, or they really should have done more at the deadline? Because to me, I'm already asking this question and no one else seems to. So I'm curious where we have to be in order to start questioning the Mets.
I don't think there's a reason to question them right now. They're 6 games above 500. I feel like they didn't go too far in where they made like a ridiculous trade, right?
Yeah,
like they didn't do anything stupid. And that's what sometimes you guys always say is the Mets go too ridiculous, and they didn't do that. Logan's waving if you can't see it, by the way. There, Mrs. Edwards. There. I don't know. I think the Mets. I think you're being a little harsh on them in some ways.
I don't know.
We naturally don't like the Mets, so
I get the skepticism.
I like the Mets. I just don't think that. I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're sustainable at what they're at. So I just don't. I don't like them this year. I don't think they're actually a contender, and I think they're gonna look back and they're gonna be like, man, we should have traded Pete Alonso and gotten a buttload from him or for him, and I think they're gonna regret that.
That's fair.
Because they think they can make it to the NLDS or something. There's no way they think they can go to the World Series.
Well, I may ask that question in a little bit here. Josh, are you still with me? It looks like he left for a second. Josh, any final thoughts here on the emojis here at the NL before I keep it moving?
Rockies with the dice.
always rolling the dice, but it always comes up number 1. Nothing. They giving Chris Bryant, but he's on the DL like everybody expected. They'll have good players like Doyle. He'll be gone in a little bit. DJ LeMahieu is doing better on the Yankees, even though he had better stats. Nobody got my trivia question today on 7th inning stretch that I posted earlier. It was Charlie Blackman, by the way. Anybody that's listening, if you go on the Twitter account, that's what it was. Josh Edwards, as I get that off the screen here, you brought up
a question.
You brought up Charlie Witt or his son Bobby Witt. What did you have with it? His stat, he was on absolute fire this July.
Super tear. One of the best months we've ever seen offensively for a baseball player. He hit 489 in July. That's godly. That's legendary. Right? And he becomes the first player in MLB history to hit 20 home runs and get 20 steals in his first 3 seasons. And that's not to mention that he might go 30-30 on top of this with as much season as we have left. That is absolutely insane. He is making a case for MVP in the AL. I don't care what anybody says. At me, let's have this one out on Twitter. He is making a case to be the AL MVP.
I think he's being. I don't know if he can beat out Judge though.
He can't.
Okay, hold on. So Judge is expected to be the best player, right?
He is.
Okay. He's great, but he's not doing anything to me that's unexpected. I expect this from him. Bobby Witt's doing the unexpected. He's doing stuff we don't normally see.
He just got paid this offseason.
I understand that. But still, he's doing things nobody else has. I know you do. You love teaming up on me. You've loved it since day one. No, I think Bobby Witt's a more valuable player this year than Aaron Judge because Bobby Witt means more to his team than Aaron Judge does to the Yankees.
That's fair. That's fair. But that always goes back to the old thing, right? That's always been the case with this argument. Are they more valuable to their team? Or are they more valuable over, right? Alex Rodriguez back in the day when it was the Rangers. That was the famous thing. Hit 138 home runs or whatever, 138 RBIs, all that massive stats. and he would lose out to Tejada. Like, I hear what you're saying. There is a world where that's the case. I don't know if he can beat out Aaron Judge, though. Aaron Judge has 38 bombs, 99 RBIs.
He won't beat Judge out because of the markets. I'll tell you that right now.
I think it could help him being a smaller market. What you got, Logan?
That is, Joshy Poo, I love you more than I love anyone else. But it's not the markets that's the reason why Aaron Judge is going to win MVP. I'm looking at stats right now.
He's dominating.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yep. We can hear you.
There you are.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I start things off. Okay, so in Judge has him on WAR, which is 7.5 to Witt's 7. On base percentage, which is 447 to Witt's 396. OPS 1.136 to Witt's 992, and OPS plus 214 to Witt's 171. Let's see, on home runs, he's got 39 to Witt's 19, and 99 RBIs to Witt's 76.
Okay. And who does Judge have around him in the lineup?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You're telling me who you have around you in the lineup doesn't impact what pitches you see from pitchers?
He has to win the division. He has to win the division to win the MVP. He has to beat out the Guardians.
Fine. I'll give you that. But I'm saying he's making a legit argument.
He's making a legitimate run. If he can stay at this level, like Logan, obviously, if he bats 420 again this month, and he bats 340 the next month, like he's making a run at it for sure.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm saying he's making an argument to be the MVP.
But you can't say the market. The market. The reason why Aaron Judge is going to win is because the markets are different.
I don't think they vote like that.
You don't think national exposure has any contributing factor to it in baseball?
Not anymore.
No. All right, fair enough.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt Judge. I think more than anything, I think it would help Bobby Witt.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you, Logan, in that regard.
Okay.
But
maybe I'm wrong. But
Josh, your point still remains.
Make sense.
Your point still remains the same. He was been on absolute fire in July. He was like I said, when you're up there with like Lou Gehrig type numbers. I mean, that's where you're on a different level when you're at that point right there. So Bobby Witt on fire. Some people, I saw a segment today on MLB Tonight where they were saying he's the best player in the league. So obviously you're not too far out of bounds by saying is he. But you know what I mean? You're not like other people are thinking it too. So, all right, standings check as we get into it here. I presented Mets, Cards, Pods. Can they win their division?
No, and no.
No, none of these three teams can win their division. The Padres are 4.5 out, right? Cardinals are the Brewers. We've talked about them many times, but the Mets, and they're all on fire. I know, and that's why I'm just kind of obviously the Cardinals had the heartbreakers we talked about. But what do you think?
Okay, no, maybe, and no.
All right, so none of them are out of it.
Cardinals, I think Cardinals is realistic, and I think Padres is realistic.
I think the Padres, the Dodgers are fading a little bit here.
But the Dodgers, aren't they getting healthier?
They are getting
Aren't they having pitchers come back now?
Well, Kershaw just got lit up.
Yeah.
Well, Kershaw's old.
I mean, the Diamondbacks are only 5 out, too. I should include the Diamondbacks in that kind of list, too.
I don't think they're realistic.
So I did a poll. I did a poll today on 7th. I granted only 19 people voted, but still, I did a poll where it was like, hey, who if you had to put money on somebody to win the World Series out of the Mets, Cardinals, Padres, or Diamondbacks, who would you put money on? And literally all the votes went for just either the Padres or the Diamondbacks. Nobody voted for the Mets or the. This is like branded even before I retweeted it. So it's like nobody voted for those two teams. So I didn't say make the play. I mean, if you had to bet money to like make the World Series out of those 4 teams, let me propose that question to you: Mets, Cardinals, Padres. Add the D-backs to that list. Which one would you put money on to make the World Series this year?
Padres.
That's kind of seems the way people are going.
Yeah, Padres.
So the Cardinals aren't there then.
No. They didn't do enough, man. The team's too far away.
I mean, yeah, I get you. They didn't do enough with it.
You added pieces to be the Cardinals added pieces to be competitive. They did not add pieces to go win a World Series because they know they're too far away. Mozeliak's hands were tied with how much money they could spend going into next year's contracts. Because yes, as Goldschmidt's contract's going to fall off, Sonny's contract almost doubles in cost, and they're going to have to go get ready to sign more guys. And you got guys coming up on free agency, so. If they want to keep some of the younger guys around, they got to have money in hand. And the DeWitt family wasn't willing to go spend money.
Logan, the Rangers steal the West somehow. I mean, seriously, they suck this year, but they're only like 4.5 out right now. Is that what they're at? I think four. Let me look, double check. They are right now. They sit 4.5 games out of the AL West.
Yeah, but they're 8 games out of the wild card.
It doesn't matter to me. That's why I said steal the West. Can they somehow?
That's true. Okay, my fault. I didn't listen.
At 4.5, can they steal the West there? You're out there in Texas. I mean, like, they're the world champs. They're letting these guys somehow, like, hang in there. Like, I don't know. Is there a chance where they get healthy with DeGrom coming back in mid-August? He goes a few innings like Scherzer.
I think they're betting.
Is that crazy?
Yeah, I don't think it would be a steal. I think that it would be. I mean, it would be. I think that it's realistic, honestly, for them to come back. I think
that would be crazy. That would be crazy. They should be dead. They should be dead.
As a doornail, but they have the best manager in baseball.
Brother Bruce is the best. But it's not an even number. That's why it worries me. It's not it is even 2024. Oh, good God. But he won again. Can he go back to back? He usually goes every other. That's what concerns me.
That's true.
That was a big conspiracy out here. I remember when the Giants made the playoffs and they missed it, so they won the third World Series in 2014. Then they missed the playoffs in 2015, and they made it again in 2016. And they played the Cubs, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's our year!" And the Cubs made the Cubs, but that was all the theory there with it. So Logan, I like your optimism. I think the Rangers have a chance. We talked about the Dodgers and Phillies reeling a little bit. The Phillies just went 1-5 on a homestand. They got swept by the Yankees. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Guardians. The Dodgers, like we said, maybe they're not reeling the same way, but the injuries are catching up to them a little bit. I don't know. Like, is there a team there that had you more worried, I guess? Like, out of the best, is there a team where you're like, this team I'd be concerned about? No?
I'm not worried about the Phillies. Orioles, I'm kind of worried about. They've kind of hit a skid. They haven't really had a stride yet. And so, I mean, hopefully with the pieces they picked up, they'll be in a lot better shape. But if they
don't get swept by the Guardians,
that would be devastating for them.
But I mean, the Dodgers, I think you really need to be worried about. They're just not. They're not there.
4.5 game lead, Logan. That's nothing.
Serious.
Yeah, and just the way that they have been, and it's kind of like weird. You gotta, like, the Dodgers have this pressure of, like, in past success they've been the best team ever, and then this year it's not all there, and it's like their pitching is just non-existent, and they're just relying solely on Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, and Will Smith, and
God, I love Will Smith.
It's just not.
He's my favorite player that's not a Cardinal.
Hey, we should go back and watch that segment. We should. I got it on tape, though. So we got it right here. I got a couple more for you on the standings update here. I got Twins, KC, Red Sox. Who do we trust more out of those 3 teams? Just give me a quick one. Who do you trust more, Twins, KC, or Red Sox?
Go ahead, Logan.
Royals. I trust the Royals.
So the Twins still. We didn't talk about that much in this trade deadline because they didn't do much.
Right.
So the trust isn't there with the Twins still. That's interesting.
I think the Royals can be consistent. I think the Red Sox have too many holes. I think if I had to put money on a team going to the playoffs, I think it's the Royals.
I mean, that's right now they're looking like they have a good chance the way that Mr. Witt's played and the way they get everybody else right now. They sit in that third wild card spot.
Pascano had 2 home runs today too.
Yep, he was on fire.
Dalby's going to get hot again at some point.
Twins are a half game back behind the Royals right now, Josh.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick with my Royals. I've been riding them all season. I was one of the few people who took them in the preseason. I'm going to stick with them.
Cubs' most disappointing team this year?
No.
Okay. Diamondbacks are 4.5 out. 5 out again.
I think they're still disappointing. I think with the success they had last year, Corbin Carroll last year, I think they're still in that disappointment mode. They're getting back to it, but I think they're still in that little bit of disappointment area.
Cubs, Giants, Blue Jays are the initial teams that write down to me. Those are like the 3 teams that stick out to me. I guess the D-backs, I just didn't have there.
Blue Jays, I was not surprised by the Blue Jays falling off. They were terrible last year. They were mediocre the year before that, and this year.
Yeah, but on paper they should be good.
They did get hot in October. They did. That's what makes this weird now. These 6 teams, man, it really throws it for a loop here, Josh. It's almost like let's wait till September 10th to make a decision on some of these teams. Like you have to really wait a little bit here on the summit because we're ripping on the Cubs, but who knows what if they win 10 straight? It does change quickly in that regard. So those are some of my notes there with the standings there with it. The other standings here as we kind of get into the wild card, just to let you know the wild card leaders right now is we got Yankees and Orioles tied, so they're both division wild card. Royals, Twins hold the next spots with the Red Sox, Mariners, Rays behind there. In the wild card nationally, you got the Braves, Padres, D-backs leading it with the Mets, Cardinals 2 out, Pirates 2.5 out. Guys, the Pirates are really making a little charge here as well as Logan jumps back in here with it.
Sorry,
Pirates, you're good. Pirates make that charge as well. So we'll see what they do with it. What do you guys think Diamond notes here as I kind of move into that segment? Let me get this going here for notes. Peter Gammon, shout out. I did find a bookmark with you, so one I will get you on there. Maybe tonight's show. I'll get you on there one of these times with it. My Diamond notes for the week, gentlemen. 7th inning stretch. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show. More followers we can get here. Appreciate Logan Stone joining us again. He was with us Tuesday for the draft show. We got for the trade deadline show. And we got Josh Edwards here as always. Diamond notes, a few from this week. I got Rays moving to a new stadium in 2028. No strikeouts for Kershaw in a start, a career first. Trout out for the season. We kind of discussed that already. Holiday hits his first home run. It's a grand slam. And then the Braves, Olsen, and they go back to back, not just once, but twice in a game. Any of those Diamond notes stick out to you guys this week or anything else from the league that was kind of went under the radar?
I'll let our guests go first.
I think Kershaw, getting blown up, not getting any strikeouts, which is fine. I think it was just, it's shocking. I think it's evident that the Dodgers need to really just blow up their rotation and really just get rid of Buehler, get rid of May, get rid of Gonsolin, get rid of Kershaw. I don't love what they did with Kershaw because I think that it's just too much of it's like what the Cardinals did with 2 unnamed players that I will not mention, that they just kept them for so long, way past their prime, and it just was sucking the life out of the team, and it just was useless to keep Kershaw around. And I think they just need to get rid of him, honestly. I get that he's a fan favorite. I get what he's done for the team, but it's time to just move on from him because he's keeping you guys from winning a World Series, in my opinion.
He hasn't had good Octobers. We know that. That's something he has kind of struggled with as well. That Logan Josh, what do you make of that and some of the other Diamond notes there?
Kershaw's time is done. The hourglass is running out of sand. For a guy who had such an illustrious career, he's going to do the same thing Wainwright did at the end of his. and tarnish himself. Difference is, though, Wainwright has an actual personality, so people still love him. And Kershaw's Kershaw. He's going to still go down as one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Personality.
He's still going to go down as one of the greatest pitchers of all time. I'm going to pick Trout out for the season because I love saying this. Availability is the most important ability. Mike Trout, generational talent, should have been one of the best players to ever go down in the history of baseball. He will forever be tarnished because he hasn't been able to stay healthy in the last 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah, Wainwright is definitely not in Kershaw's league.
I didn't say that. I just said he's going to do something similar to Waino.
Tyler, Tampa Bay, nobody will show up. Yes, they are getting the shovels built, Logan, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Logan.
I want to ask that question though, staying on the Trout thing. So, I know I've mentioned this multiple times here, but I've always been intrigued by the idea of people playing themselves out of the Hall of Fame. Is Trout getting into that area?
If he never played a game again.
Yeah, if he never played, if he played and he just wasn't the same. Like even when Trout whenever he plays, he's still dominant. Like he's still the best player on the field whenever he's playing. It's just he never plays anymore.
But three-time MVP, 11-time All-Star. I just feel like those are, and like he almost has 500 home runs still. Like I just feel like he's in.
Andrew Jones, though, they always say Andrew Jones is one of the players who played himself out of the Hall of Fame.
But he wasn't a star like Trout quite was, though.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. That's a good question. That'd be my pushback in that regard.
Yeah, I get it.
Josh Holiday hits his first Grand Slam 20 years after Matthew Holiday hits it as well. The back-to-back, that you won't see that very often, where two players in the same game go back-to-back like twice, not just once, but twice in the same game.
It's cool.
You won't see that very often. So
it's not as cool as 2 Grand Slams in the same inning. But hey,
it's
all right.
Nothing beats that. All right, baseball bonanza here as we get through it. Some questions here for you guys. Name a second baseman defensively that in 30 years he probably won't be remembered. You guys got a few out here that won't be remembered?
I'll let you go first, Josh, and put.
Because Logan wants me to say this one. Cole Long.
I didn't realize you won so many Gold Gloves.
It was defensive beast. Defensive beast. I got one that even another Cardinal. That Logan
shocking.
Fernando Vina.
I had him down. Good call.
Dang, really?
I did. That's a good call. I did have him in there. Logan, you got a couple?
So, honorable mention, he spent time at second base because I think the question was that, he probably won't be remembered. I think he's mostly known for his shortstop abilities, but I think Jose Iglesias, especially when he was with the Tigers, was just awesome. But Aaron Hill. So you guys always hear me talk about
from Toronto.
Yeah. Aaron Hill was my guy that I wanted on the Cardinals so freaking bad. Aaron Hill was just awesome sauce.
The righty. I remember him.
And Freddie Sanchez. I think that's who I said.
Freddie, Pirates guy, right?
Yeah, Pirates, yeah.
Pirates.
Tony
and then
Womack?
He won the World Series though with the Giants. Yeah, Womack's a good one. People won't forget about people. He won the stolen base title twice though in the NL there. Freddie Sanchez, you're right though. He won the World Series with the Giants 2010. He's part of that team.
Part of that team.
He was there. They got him in a trade with Pittsburgh.
He wasn't the starter. Never mind. The other one I think
he was the starter.
I think the other one who I think is kind of odd because back in the day he was like one of the most popular players. Ian Kinsler. I don't think people are going to remember Ian Kinsler.
That's a good call.
I guess I'll give you that one.
That's a good call. I had a couple other ones. I'm sure you guys. Joe Panic from the Giants. He won a Gold Glove as well. Pokey Reese, Luis Castillo from the Marlins.
See, I'll never forget those two guys.
Multiple Gold Glove winners. Orlando Hudson, second baseman as well. He won a lot as well. Mark Ellis, an A for me, is well on the way. Placido Polanco, was on that list as
Oh
well.
no, Polanco was awesome, man.
I had Freddie Sanchez, and then a guy that was an A's killer was Brett Boone. He won a couple goal gloves for the Mariners as well. So there's a couple I had on the list. I know some people had Phillips as well. They're with it as well. On what I saw, a couple of people too. You got a couple others?
All those guys were on my list too. Brett Boone. I wanted to say Mark Ellis. I wanted to say Miguel Tejada, but I don't think he ever played second. So
No, he was shortstop.
I don't think he was even that good at short.
There's a couple of random ones like Michael Young, but he moved all over the place. Mark McLemore played there for a little bit, but he played on a few different franchises along the way. Brian Roberts at second base. He was somebody there with the Orioles that was there as well.
I saw Tom Hurd a lot.
Who?
Tom Hurd.
Oh yeah. Baseball Bonanza. Who would you rather have? 2025. I looked at the ballot, kind of saw the list that's on the name, so I just thought it'd be fun to go through like who would you rather have? Like so, based on who's available next year in the 2025 Hall of Fame, who would you rather have? Jimmy Rollins or Omar Vizquel?
That's.
I guess I would rather have Rollins, but not. I don't think Rollins is a Hall of Famer. So,
I mean, Rollins has a 47.6 WAR. Vizquel has a 45.6. So it's not like that. I mean, I tried to pick guys that's like where it's going to be like and that's what makes this interesting. What you base it on? Would you rather have Rollins or Vizquel? I know your defense says it's Vizquel.
Yeah, I guess I'll go opposite on this one.
David Wright or Felix Hernandez?
Felix. I don't even think about that one. To me,
it's David Wright.
Yeah, I saw Felix and I thought, he's the type of guy who I think played himself out of the Hall of Fame. So I think David Wright. Just the consistency.
Hanley Ramirez or Tulowitzki?
Hanley. I think
both on the ballot for the first time.
I don't think Tulo could ever get. I mean, he was injured so much. Hanley
their numbers are surprisingly close when you look at it. But at the end of the day, I got one I don't have on the screen. Not the same position. Andrew Jones, they finished very close in the voting this year. So I got to have them on the list as well. Chase Utley or Andrew Jones? Who would you rather have?
Jones.
Chase Utley or Andrew Jones, Logan?
Really?
Man, really? I don't know. I'm telling you, his last 7-10 years, he just was not good. Andrew Jones, Chase Utley, at least. I mean, Chase Utley was pretty good. He was a dominant player. So I'll say
he was great.
Last one I have for you, catcher Russell Martin. You guys remember Russell Martin? Hopefully, yes.
I love
Russell Martin. Russell Martin or Brian McCann.
Ooh. Russell Martin. This is all off the top of my head. So
that's all I'm basing it on. Just kind of who you want. I mean, they're close. Look, and I put it where like they're right there. Yeah. So it's like you can make an argument either way. It's kind of like your cup of tea in some ways. But that's what these guys have to debate on. So I don't know.
I think Brian had a huge drop off. Martin had
Brian McCann.
Not Brian McCann. All right, so he's not good. All right, last bonanza here before I get to trivia. Give me your World Series predictions and winner. If I get it up on the screen here, get hopefully up on it right there. You got the playoff picture here. What it would kind of look like today. So if you already have the Astros. You have the Orioles and the Guardians getting the bye. You'd have the Phillies and the Dodgers getting the bye. You'd have the Padres versus the Braves, Diamondbacks versus the Brewers. You'd have the Twins versus the Yankees, and Royals versus the Astros. Is there a World Series prediction that we might have a winner? Obviously, we want to hold it to us, but just August 1st here might be kind of fun to kind of do it
based on these teams. That's the thing. It's based on these teams.
That's who's in right now. Yep.
Okay. Logan, go first. I'll give you the floor.
Can't go Cardinals. Sorry, Josh.
I'm gonna pick them anyways.
You know,
I know who you're gonna pick. That's why I'm letting you go first.
I mean, I watched that series. It was so fun yesterday. I'm when it's a preview. Yankees and Phillies. Phillies come out on top.
Still got the Phillies. Edwards.
I'm going to take the Orioles.
Yeah.
And the Phillies. And I'm going to take the Orioles.
Yeah. That's kind of where my brain was at, but I can't bring myself to do it.
I'd rather see it be the Orioles and the Dodgers, though, and then see the Orioles beat the Dodgers, because then Jack Flaherty gets to lose to a team that got rid of him.
I kind of think this is what I want, so I'm going to go based on this. I think I want Guardians versus Brewers. With the Brewers, I want two teams.
You want the two worst divisions.
I want the two teams that I like, kind of find the most interesting. And this whole year, like that have been the most fascinating. I don't care about the public. I've been watching enough baseball, so I know these teams. Those are the teams I want to see in there.
There's going to be one person watching the World Series this year.
I don't care. Well, it'll be me then. He'll be me. People watched the D-backs and the Rangers last year. Trust me, I was one of them. So I was one of them on there. All right.
We're the only ones watching. What are you talking about?
That's yeah, probably we were the only ones watching on there. We were probably the ones.
Speaking about the Orioles,
yes,
I have a fun fact or some
it.
news. So the Orioles made all these trades, right?
Yep,
made all these trades. They've already DFA'd one of the guys they picked up in trade.
Yes,
Christian Pache.
Yeah, the A's traded for him back in the day. Yeah.
So he was DFA'd to make room for Jimenez and Slater to get put on the roster. He's 25 years old. He's a former number 1 overall pick for the Braves. He struggled with the Braves, then moved to the A's, and then moved to the Phillies, and the Phillies just moved him. He's only 25 years old. Former number 1 or first-round pick. Do you guys think this guy can revive his career, or do you think he's done and he's a bust?
I mean, he's young enough where he could, but based on what he did with the A's, he was not good at all. He could not hit.
That's not horrible.
Yeah, he couldn't hit.
Sub 200.
If you can't hit, it's going to be a tough spot for you.
Can he do it, though? Can he find it?
No.
He can, but he's very good defensively, so he can be on Josh's expanded team.
Oh, yeah, Josh would love him on his team.
He'd be a bench guy for me.
Josh would probably have him as a starter.
He's a bench on Josh's team, which is really bad.
You can be good defensively and struggle offensively, but you got to at least hit 225.
There is that where you have to be. I'm telling you, this guy, there's a reason the Braves gave up on him, and the Braves are one of the smartest teams in the league. So
and the A's gave up on him. What does that tell you?
Yeah, but who's the guy that the Braves had in center field, Logan, that tore it up after they traded him? He made Harris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they knew, like, even though he was a better break prospect, that the other guy was better.
Do you guys know what package Pache was into the A's?
I don't.
Oh, you know? Yeah, who was the Braves player? It was Murphy, right?
Nope.
Olsen?
Yeah.
Murphy or Olsen. It was one of those guys.
It was Olsen.
Yeah. One of those son of a guns got traded there.
Why he was at the Braves and then he went to the anyways.
The A's, we could recount a lot of bad trades with it. MLB trivia here with it. Let's get to it. We did Logan. I got Logan on Tuesday. I was very proud of myself with the 100 pence. Got him there with it. All right.
I thought it started in 2004.
Wrong again, Ernie. We'll get back. Here we go with it. Who am I? 7th inning stretch. What an episode this has been. Besides the first 2 minutes where we got Logan's internet, but we could figure it out. Here we go. I played from 2006 to 2019. I was a 4-time All-Star, finishing my career with San Diego, and finishing with 1,999 hits, 243 stolen bases. Anybody there have it?
Oh my gosh, I know this.
I know you do. That's my problem. I'm like, crap. Give me the second one before he blurts it out.
All right, the second one is I was a 2-time All-Star, a 2-time Gold Glove winner, and I've been to the World Series not once, not twice, 3 times, winning my only one in 2018.
Hold on, who won in 18? The Nats won in 19.
Red Sox.
Hit number 1 again. I played.
He finished his career in San Diego.
Did finish his career with the Pods.
Hold on.
What a hot team they are.
Don't give me
San Diego.
I'm going to give you a sec. What a hot team they are right now. Brother Bruce, back in the day. I finished with the Padres. Doesn't mean he finished for 20 years with the Padres. Just mean he finished with them. But the big hit is this one, right? Winning that World Series.
The 1999 killing me. Hold on 1 second. Don't give me hint number 3 yet.
It's not a pitcher. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
What gave that away? The 1,999 hits?
No, it was the stolen bases, actually.
Madison Bumgarner.
Who is?
Do you want to hit number 3? Do we want to hit number 3?
Just give it to me.
Yeah.
I played for 4 teams. I was traded for Prince Fielder in 2013. I hit for the Cycle in 2009, and as well winning the World Baseball Classic. Come on, Logan. Come on, Logan. Who is it, Logan? Is he free?
Kinsler?
Yes, he said his name earlier. He said it earlier. I loved it when he said it. I was like, I'm going to get him on it. He got it. The Ian Kinsler is the answer.
You and your trivia killed me.
He got it. I knew when Logan was coming. I had to make it a little dumb. I love it because he said Ian Kinsler went the second baseman, underrated thing. So I was like, I love it that he's not going to be on the favorite one here. I left him off one of my Hall of Fame comparisons. I didn't want to make him too fresh in the name for you, so I left him off behind that. So here's the reason I got him on the big board with it. One of the first players ever. He homers to lead off the game, and then he wins the game on a walk-off home run. Santana on the mound here.
He's been tough to hit, too. Kinsler smokes one left center field. That ball taking off, and it is gone! Rangers on the board right away.
Lurie.
Well, Kinsler can be the hero right here. A drive to left. Taking off to the track at the wall. He's the hero. Kinsler wins it. Second home run of the night. Ball game. Rangers take it 5-3.
Those Rangers teams were stacked. I'm sorry. There was some good teams there. Back-to-back World Series. I know they lost, but that's no joke when you make it back-to-back World Series.
That pitching was on another level. Colby Lewis and
Colby, yes, that's a forgotten name.
Elvis Andrus and Ian Kinsler being the best middle infield in baseball for years. And then they added Adrian Beltre, and then who was the other guy?
Hamilton.
Well, not even Hamilton. It was like the first baseman because they
I like when they added Napoli.
Yeah, Napoli was awesome.
I thought he was always a big part of their teams.
But yeah, that's funny because I forget that
Ian Kinsler. I thought I had you. The third clue. You got it at the end there. I could tell your brain was clicking.
I was like, it's an infielder. I know it.
Well, had to be.
He got it right there. He got
Padres.
That was funny. All right, hey, finishing up with my MLB Flashback video of the week. All 3 of these guys have passed away, but it's kind of a funny story along the way with Whitey Ford and Yogi Berra, the reporter out of Buffalo. Forgive me for his name, but he's always one of my favorites along the way here with it. Stuff. Here we go.
Yogi Berra and Yogi Berraisms. And you said, let me tell you the 4-ball story with the Chicago White Sox, right? Tell America, Yogi Berra and the 4-ball story.
The White Sox came into the Yankee Stadium in '59, and I was pitching against them, and they took my 8 warm-up pitches. They played the national anthem, and up comes Louis Aparicio. The first pitch I throw to him, He bunts down third, beats it out. One pitch, man on first. Nellie Fox gets up, first pitch, double down left field line. 2 pitches, second and third. Minnie Minoso, I threw him a really good curveball, but it hit him in the kneecap. So he walks down to first. Now I've thrown 3 pitches.
And the bases are loaded.
Bases are loaded. And up come Ted Kluszewski, who made his fame with Cincinnati, but he was with the White Sox. First pitch, high fastball off the right center field wall. 3-run score. I've thrown 4 pitches. Casey comes out to the mound. Yogi doesn't want to miss that, so he gets out there. And Casey says to Yogi, "Does Ford have anything tonight?" And Yogi says, "How the hell do I know? I haven't caught a pitch yet."
Well, I didn't.
I love that. I don't know why that's funny. I love that stuff. I love how he says, "Yeah, Yogi didn't want to miss this." So he got, like, basically, it was like a kid coming out with the parents disciplining your brother or sister. It's like, "Well, I don't want to miss this one. Let me see this." So that was basically Yogi Bear there. I thought that was kind of a funny MLB flashback this week with it. So yeah, that's what I got.
Nothing
there.
wrong with a little funny.
Yogi Berra, there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No, not at all. I've just seen that about 20 times.
That was one of the first times I've seen that one, so it's a rarity.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the first one. Me. Where'd I
For
go
once
wrong?
I've seen something you haven't seen. That's crazy.
Maybe that's where I went wrong then. Josh, did I
There
go
you go.
wrong?
That's it. That's it.
Did I go wrong anywhere else? No, that's it.
No, you were fantastic, man. All your emojis were funny. You did a good show tonight. You put in tons of work on this one, and you did great.
Logan Stone, are you fatigued? How are we doing out there? Deadline's passed. Christmas is over. Looks like you've had too much turkey and ham. How are we doing out there?
I'm ready for a nap. I'm
2
ready to
months
hype.
left. Phillies,
until
Yankees.
the
That's what he wants. Phillies, Yankees.
That's what I want. Orioles and
He's just ready for
Phillies,
the offseason.
really
I know.
realistic. Yeah,
I
I
know.
can't wait. Angry.
And you're always at off season. I would appreciate you for that, but I appreciate you being available here for the trade deadline too. I know you love that stuff. Your input on it made me more kind of fired up for it too. So appreciate you kind of joining me Tuesday with that show. That was a great show, and then doing tonight as well, back-to-back weeks. You always know that you have the invitation here on Seventh Inning Stretch, as you're I call it the founder here of the show. So you're always got the invitation as always. Proud to put that legacy, keep it going here on Variety Sports Network. 2 months left, Logan. 2 months left of baseball season, Josh Edwards. Let's get through it. And then we got the playoffs. That's when the bread is buttered. So we got that coming up here. The races are going to get better. So as we move on here in August, right? I mean, the races are we talked about 4.5 games. They're going to get closer. Some of these teams are getting tighter. We had the Cardinals blow it tonight to the Cubs, as these guys know. So these games get a little bit tighter with it. Appreciate anybody that joined us tonight on Seventh Inning Stretch. For Logan Stone, for Josh Edwards, Variety Sports Network. Be sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.